Good morning from Kanab, Utah. We are staying at the Holiday Inn Express and we're headed back toward the east. And we're gonna fish Lee's Ferry today. You are gonna see some world-class fishing sites and some world-class fishing. We're gonna be spin fishing today, which is not a rarity on the spot. The guides in the area offer spin fishing as part of their program, but we're gonna spin fish it and we're gonna throw bubble fly and we're gonna throw some spoons and we're gonna have a great time out there. So stay tuned. The next shot you see will be over there at the Lee's Ferry walk-in area, and that's where we'll fish. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it myself. We'll see you over there. Beautiful sunrise out here on the Arizona Strip. Not bad. Made it to Lee's Ferry. We are there. As you can see, the scenery is phenomenal. Part of what makes this spot such a very popular fishing area is the scenery, because to tell you the truth, the fish size are not big. You're not going to catch a 5-pound trout here. You're not even going to catch a 3-pound trout here, but the fishing is wide open. For most people, it can be pretty good, and the scenery is just amazing. So that's what the draw is. It's a very rare opportunity to fish some desert scenery like this with trout, rainbow trout fishing. I mean, that's crazy. So, and there's all kinds of little trails and stop-offs and stuff. There's some hiking all through here. It's a spectacular area, guys. So if you're in this area, check it out. All right, we're gonna hit the walk-in area here in a few minutes. All right, we're at the gravel bar information sign. They got the quick guides, which we did get one, and then there's some information as far as the area. They got a great little map, talk about where you're at. We are right there. We passed by the campground. We're gonna take the kid there, and but this is the fishing area. So between here and the boat ramp, so this is the walk-in area that's really good fishing, guys. This is where you want to be, right in here. And then they say some of this can be decent too, all the way down to here. But the main spot is right in here, which is right out in front of us. Oh. So they talk about, you know, this is why there's parking here, because people will park here and walk in. They don't tell you that. You just have to know what you're doing when you're out here. Sun's not even up, so that's the whole point. We're going to come out here, put our waders on, get fishing. It looks like we'll be fishing in the sun anyway. But they're really protective of the whirling disease and all that here, so please, you know, everything you do out here, your waders, your boots, use rubber-soled boots, make sure everything is dry. Don't do anything stupid with cleaning your fish and all that stuff. So just take care of this, guys. This is world-class fishing. It's highly protected. Respect it for everybody that comes after you. All right, end rant. Let's go out there and go fishing. There's some trails right here and over here. The Paria River runs out, but we're gonna go down to the boat ramp and see what's going on there first. Amazing scenery. All right, so we are out here at Lee's Ferry. I got the bubble set up. We're gonna fish bubble fly, barbless fly. We got a woolly bugger on there. We're gonna show you guys the action, and then we're also gonna show you guys how to fish this spot and where to fish this spot. So be ready, stay tuned. Lots to come. So we are here, guys. This is the world famous Lee's Ferry. The water is cold.
It was said to be in the 40-degree range, but I don't think it is down here. I think it's more in the upper 50s. But anyway, the reason we're using what we're using is because there's a lot of weeds. We're gonna throw some Thomases too, but we're gonna throw a little bubble fly today. I have a feeling that we're gonna get some good action with it. They have quicksand in this water, so you got to be very careful where you're standing and don't get comfortable in a spot. You might be sinking and not even realize it. So extremely important to pay attention to where your footing is and all that. But we're fishing it. Let's give it a shot, guys. We're letting it roll downstream. I can see my bubble. I'm just looking for that thing to stop and go down. Let's see if we can get it hit. We're gonna throw a little bit of everything today. The fish here love the drift. Anything that's just drifting, they love it. So you gotta use that to your advantage and throw things that can go with that. I've got a brown woolly bugger on there with a little bit of color on it, a little bit of speckle. We're gonna see if we can get this thing hit. There are a lot of trout out here. I'm seeing all kinds of fish in the water everywhere. Spectacular scenery. It's kind of hard to see, but straight in front of us, you're looking at Lee's backbone. And that's where right across the way here is where the stagecoaches would go up that hill right in front of us. And there are actually marks in the water or in the rock up there where they used to do that. So it's pretty neat. Let's throw over here in the shallows. Maybe they're more near shore this time of day. So I'm gonna try that. Fish, guys. There we go. First fish of the day. Caught on a woolly bugger and a bubble fly. Take a look. Pretty nice little bow. Let's get them disconnected and throw them back. First fish. Alright guys, let's see if we can get hit again. We found a little, like I said, I think they're closer to shore. And I think what happens in this time of year, this is, I think, September 1st today. And I think what's going on is the fish are in close, feeding on those morning bugs that are in the shallows over here. So I'm actually just casting downstream and reeling up slowly, like barely moving it along, and just waiting for that little bump. I'm reeling at a speed that is just enough that I'm not really creating much of a wake, and that's going to be the key. But first fish on a woolly. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna throw a little bit of everything and give it a good shot today. We're gonna get you guys into the action and show you what's really going on here down at Lee's Ferry. We're fishing the walk-in. It's a pretty nice spot. So third cast in, I got one. If that's any indication on the fishery. I don't plan on being here very long today. We got the family, and I don't want everybody baking out here just because I'm fishing, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep throwing and see if we can get some more. I'll check back. Give it a shot. We got a barbless Thomas spoon. We're just gonna try out a couple of different things while we're here. We've got one and 3 cast on the bubble fly. Now we're gonna see how long it takes on a Thomas spoon. Barbless Thomas spoon. I think the spoons are gonna be better here because you can cover water a little better, and I just like the flash, especially in the morning. I love the flash that this thing will put out for the fish. So we're gonna try in these shallows over this way in a little bit of deeper water, but still in the shallows, and see. I don't think it'll take very long. Probably just a couple of casts. So as soon as we got here, we got hit up by a like a boat ramp person that basically they're here to monitor your setup to make sure that your boat is clear of any more what do you call it, you know, foreign animals and stuff like quagga mussel and that kind of stuff. So this would be the 3rd cast, same as the fly. Let's see if we can get, we're casting out more in the middle. It's actually pretty deep out there. It's deceiving. There's these pockets of deeper water. So we're hoping to find those pockets. That's the key, is to find the deep little pocket water. And then the fish just stack up in there. The trout are kind of everywhere in here. The water is just real uniform in temperature, and you can see fish rising. All right, so the fly, one up for the fly. Let's see if we can get one over here. There are brown and rainbows in here. That's the main source of fish. But we're gonna try the boat ramp. That's where we're fishing right now, is just right here at the boat ramp, guys. We're weighted up and we're right out in front of the boat ramp. Let's wade out a little further here. Gets deep fast. Damn, I can't get over to this spot. Quick many fish there at the boat ramp. So we're gonna head down this trail. It's a fisherman's trail right down the shoreline here. Seen all kinds of neat geckos and stuff. But we're headed closer to the riffle that's created by the Paria, where it enters. There's a sandbar, and we're gonna go fish right in front of that. I have a feeling that there's good fishing right there. So I've only got about an hour or 2 out here, and then it'll be way too hot for everybody. I'm fine, but like I said, the baby wife out here, and that's a little tough for them right now. But next year will maybe a little bit easier. She'll be a little bit caught up in these bushes. She'll be a little bigger and a little more ready to be out and stuff like this. So, all right, let's check back when we get to the spot. All right, guys, we found some fish over here. We're fishing the Riffle over here. They call it the Paria Riffle, and the fish are out a little bit, so we gotta get to them. We are fully weighted out. It's bouldery. Camera's gonna have a tough time picking it out because just the glare alone, but I can tell you some tips when we're done fishing this. All right, let me get back set up and catch that fish. I just had a decent one on. I want you guys to see what it's like out here. When you're walking, it's real tough. Don't bring anything out here that you don't want falling in the water. It's kind of crazy because you see what looks like a shallow area when you get over there and actually walk through it. It's not shallow. So we're gonna throw this bad boy back out and get a fish. Guys, let's see if we can get one. We're gonna use a tight drag because we're fishing downstream. We're reeling toward us in the current. Oh, we're on. Just like that, guys. There's a lot of fish over here in this corner by the Riffle. They're fighting good over here too. I'm gonna loosen my drag. Don't let them hit the bottom here, guys. That's my recommendation. Keep them up. Here we go. Our first on a buoyant, not bad. Let's get some more. Okay, let's see if we can get back to back. So that's 2 casts in a row. Let's see if we can get it on a third. I'm pretty sure we'll keep catching them. So the spin lures work, the spoons work very well here. The challenge is the waiting. And I'm not mean like waiting on a fish. I mean waiting in the water is the challenge here. You got to have the right waders and wading boots. I would much rather use felt. I'm not even sure felt is allowed. That was a nice hit right there. I'm not even sure felt is allowed out here. I'm just using I got some Sims Freestones and they're rubber sole boots. So they're not as good as traction, but they're getting the job done out here and keeping the invasive species where they want to be. Beautiful scenery. Let's see. 3 casts, 2 fish, and a bump. So this is number 5. Pretty much every cast, you're probably going to get bumped if you can keep it out of the weeds. So keep a nice, fast reel. And when you feel it stop, you want to give it a good lift, a good hook set. The folks in Southern Cal might remember or know that style of hook set. They call it the Santa Ana River Lakes hook set, the Park Lake hook set. Yeah, give it a big old haymaker because you got all kinds of weeds and rocks and stuff, so you got to keep that fish off the bottom here. Let's see if we can get another one. Every cast I'm getting bumped pretty good. And then the only problem is after the bump, the lure wants to lay down. So then you end up in the weeds. See, in that pass, I didn't get any real big weeds. So we're letting it roll just because we're not going to be out here very long. And I want you guys to see as much of this as possible. It's not easy fishing out here as far as how you fish it, especially in the walk-in. I mean, you can get a guide, of course, and do that, and then you'll be out on the water in a boat, and I'm sure they can get you into some holes. But this is purely walk-in fishing that I'm showing you guys. I've never been here. I'm only showing you what I learned from the internet, and just out here having a good old time. Finding fish in this big river is a challenge all in its own, because there's a lot of places for them to go. So I just scanned the river and noticed that the Riffle down here creates like back pressure just above me, and that seemed to be like a good spot. I'm actually gonna move more inshore now and go this way, and then cast more into this hole that I think I found some fish in, but I'm gonna try to get it from over that way and cast this way. So I'll check back when I get over there. Near shore over here where I've got some fish stacked up. I don't know, I had 2 followers. I saw them chasing from about 5 feet behind the lure. Yep, they're still following in. So let's see if we can get one live for you guys right now. Yep, we're just throwing a Thomas spoon. It's a Thomas Bouyant, and we've got a 7'6" light Fenwick Elite Tech River Runner rod with 2-pound Iser line. 2-pound line. So very light line. out here. You're gonna lose some lures, you're gonna lose some fish, but I enjoy the casting distance and the sensitivity of the line. It's much more fun. You just never know when you're gonna get bumped out here. It's not like a typical lake where you can just tell where you're gonna get hit. Out here, you can be 10 feet away from a fish and they bump it right there versus way out or deep, because it's all pretty much the same depth as far as I can see. Oh, nice fish. Oh yeah, drag puller. That was a good one. It's a nice fish, guys. For out here, it feels like a healthy size one. You pulled drag right away. Oh yeah, he's nice. He's gonna be a good one. Like I said, you're never gonna see anything in the 3-pound class, but if you can get something around 2 pounds, you're doing very well. Oh yeah, this is a nice one. Look at this bow, guys. Woo, healthy. That's a nice size fish. He's gonna go probably a 14-incher right there. 14-inch fish on a Thomas lure. Very nice. Let's get him off of there. Get him back in the water. And get some more of these things. There he is, guys. Nice fish. You can see on my wrist, I mean, it's a long trout right there. Very nice. Put him back in the water. Nice and gentle. Off he goes. Back into his world. Let's get another one. So like I said, I'm just out here. I'm about waist deep and I'm 6 feet. Whoa, first cast, already hooked one. And he is healthy. Wow, I just let that fish go and cast it out and got another one. So the bite is just wide open, guys, on lures. Oh yeah, I can see him. He's another healthy fish. Wow, great fishing, man. Look at this one, another beautiful fish. Look at the colors on this one. I'm gonna strip some line on him, and then that way I can handle him a little better. Look at this one, guys. He's got like a golden tinge to him. This might even be one of those Apache, Gene. Look at this one. Wow. Look at the color on that one, guys. Woo! What a beaut. All right, let's get him back. Settled into a little spot. It gets really deep out here. I'm definitely gonna adjust how I'm doing this next time. A Lots of fish though, lots of fish, guys. The key is to throw out far with a spoon and reel in fast if you're coming downstream toward yourself, which is how I've been mostly getting fish, is casting kind of upstream. There's plenty of fish out there and they fight really hard. Even a 1 to a 2 pound fish is fighting really hard, because you got to figure these fish spend their whole lives is fighting current. So they're extremely strong. They're not like Park Lake fish or DFG or whatever, Department of Fish and Game fish, that are raised in pens and they have no muscle at all. These fish are really strong. I'm sorry about that glare, but I'm forced to face upstream, unfortunately. It's just the way the angle is. I gotta stand this way. I've been trying to find a nice spot with shallow, like a little ridge out here, but they're running the water kind of high from what I've been hearing, and it's changed. The walk-in area is not very walkable. So I'm doing the best I can to get you this action. But there's quite a few fish out here. But at times I'm getting them every cast, and then other times I'm getting them, takes about 5 to 10 casts. But I'm even trying to throw like close to shore over here, since the water's up, and trying to catch the fish that are hanging out in these shallows near the shore, eating the bugs that are falling in the water, and seeing if I can't get one of those to take a lure. Got about 5 to 6 casts now with nothing. So we're just gonna keep casting. Let's see what we can get. Let's see if we can get one on this one. If not, we'll check back with you guys. As you can see, I have a really fast retrieve, and that's not the lure going through the water at that speed, because remember, it's coming downstream with the flow. So I'm pretty much, the lure is actually going through the water pretty slow. I'm just basically keeping it off the bottom and casting around. The fish are all spread out through here. You're just basically looking for a place. I see them rising every now and then, so it gives me an idea of where in the river they're kind of stacking up, like what angle, and that's helping a lot. So I'm just keeping an eye on the river while I'm casting, and if I can see one rising not too far away, then I'm going after that. But every time I feel resistance, I'm setting the hook, because you just never know with the way the fish are. I'm in some deep water right here. I can't seem to find like a shallow patch, and I think the water might be rising, so I don't think I'll be in here too much longer. Otherwise I'll be swimming back to shore. Okay guys, so I think the water might be rising on me. So I've read, part of my internet research, that you need to monitor that heavily when you're out here. The reason why, because if the water comes up and you're weighted out, the water is actually deeper going towards shore from where I'm at. I actually have to go back to those rocks that way and go out along where I see the gravel bed, because otherwise, if I go towards shore right now, I'm going to be swimming. I don't want to do that. I just saw fish rise right in front of me. Let me see if I can get that guy. Let's see. This is what we call semi-sight fishing. You see a rise and then you throw out. But sometimes after fish do that, when you see them splash the surface like that, they go darting away. They spook themselves sometimes. But I'm still seeing fish where I'm at. It's been about 15 casts since I've caught one though. I'm probably going to give this another 15 to 20 minutes is all, guys, and then I'm going to head back to the boat ramp. Try that a little bit, and then we're going to head out. Let's try one more live right now. Let's see if we can get one. Yeah, I feel like the water's coming up. It's very slow and subtle, but it is coming up. So I'm definitely going to start working my way back to this riffle over here and try to keep it out of my waders. Because otherwise I'm just straight swimming back to shore, and I don't want to do that. That would suck. But it's crazy, like you get into this pocket where you just suddenly you catch fish after fish after fish, you just keep getting them. And then all of a sudden you just don't get anything. And I think the fish just move around. They like nomad around out here all together. All right, I'll check back when I hook one. Don't want it to be like a 3-hour video. Guys, we got one. Just a scrappy little one. He's all over the surface out here. Feels like about half a pound. Little guy. I was right. Gonna strip some line, get him off of there. There we go. So that was about 15 casts. 16th cast, we got one. All right, let's get him off. Let's get him home. We are definitely standing on more shallow water. I found my way back to this riffle. Much safer where I'm standing right now. Although, I think it's gonna change. Like I said, that water 100% is coming up. I can feel it just getting higher and higher and higher. So I won't be out here much longer. And I'm starting to see, a good sign is you see these weeds, you start seeing this stuff coming downstream. That's a sign that they've been letting water out because it's now disturbing weed catches. So you got to understand, guys, when you come out to stuff like this, you got to have some, knowledge. You can't just know nothing about wading and nothing about rivers and come out here. It could get real dangerous. In fact, if you read about this river particularly, you'll read about guys that have come out here and guides or different people will leave fishermen on a gravel bar to fish it, and they'll go upstream to look for other spots, leaving the guy behind, but then the water comes up and the guys literally end up swimming down river because the water comes up. It doesn't take long here. Conditions change. You got to pay attention and be safe. I don't want to hear about anybody getting in any trouble because they watched one of my videos, you know what I'm saying? So let's give it a cast over here. I'm seeing some fish rise. That's another advantage of this spoon with 2-pound line is I can really cast far, and I'm able to get into spots that I probably couldn't wade to or shouldn't wade to. I don't recommend wading out too far in distance toward the middle of the river, because what happens is you follow a gravel bed and then you end up turning around and the sun changes and things change and you don't know which gravel bed you followed, and now you're wading through 5-6 feet of water. You don't want to do that, so stay close to shore, and you know, I'll turn around here in a second and show you where I'm at, how far out I am. But I'm pretty far out here, but I'm not where I feel uncomfortable yet. I got a little uncomfortable a little while ago because I was just getting deep, but I'm gonna head back toward this gravel bed and get out of here, guys. I can feel the water coming up. So there you go, that's how far out I am. It's about 150 feet off, maybe 100 feet. I don't know, it's hard to say. About 100, at least 100 feet from shore. I'm just coming over here, guys, to give you a view, show you what I'm fishing in. Man, it's incredible. Incredible shot out here. I'm gonna see if I can get my phone out and get a couple of pics. Rest on this rock right here. I'm out in the middle of the river. Pretty, very pretty. Okay guys, I've moved closer to the gravel bar that I walked in on, and I'm actually seeing some good rises all of a sudden. Closer to the Riffle. I'm right at the edge of the Riffle over here in the Paria Riffle, and I'm seeing a lot of rises. I'm trying to get into them. It's a long cast. It's pretty far, but I think I can get one. They're definitely hanging out right there. Just a matter of basically get in front of one of their faces, and then you can, they'll hit it. Pretty much once I get in close, I'm just reeling it in. It's the, where you get hit is right where it hits the water, and maybe 10 cranks after that. So what I've figured out is that you cast far, reel in slow at first, and then pick up your speed as you get closer to yourself, and then you're gonna stay out of the weeds and off the rocks. But you always, one thing's for sure, you always want to have tension on the line when you're fishing here, because if a fish strikes and you're all slack, you're gonna miss that fish. You definitely want to have nice tension and be ready to set that hook. I'm gonna give this about 10 more casts, and then I'm out for the day. I'm gonna head up back to the boat ramp, fish that for a little while. But it was nice to come down and try this. The water's a little high. I have a feeling I'm hearing the water's pretty high, because the lady at the boat ramp even said it, the water's up. So that was her subtle warning to me to be careful out there, without telling me not to go. All right, we'll check back, see what they hit. All right, you're seeing the last cast reel in right now. I'm gonna head out of here while I'm still dry. And by the way, the last cast means there's still one more cast. I never just cast and that's it. One more time. But yeah, the water's coming up and I don't feel like swimming. So I'm gonna get out of here while I can. There it is, the last cast of the day from this section anyway. I'm gonna throw a little bit over there by the boat ramp where I dropped the wife and kid off to swim over there. And then we're gonna go check out a few more spots before we leave the area. Yeah, it looks like, guys, I'm pretty sure when the water came up and the sun's coming out, the fish move. I think they go across the river and go into the shade. So that's gonna be it. You're gonna see me wading a little bit right here. It's tough going. Yeah, the water came up, and not only that, but it created like a rapid, and it's really hard to see the bottom now. And earlier, I didn't have any problem seeing the bottom. And now, the bottom's all, like the water surface has tension on it, and I'm having trouble seeing where I'm walking. But I could see a nice shallow area coming up, and it looks like I'm home free. Very nice. Oh, man. Shallow water. Oh, that was tough back there. I was up to the very top of my waders. That was scary. All right, let's get walking back. Okay guys, that's gonna be it for the walk-in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for a few tips. I'm gonna post another video on that. My advice for walk-in anglers. Great fishing, man. I was only here about an hour and 10 minutes and caught, what, 18 fish? Somewhere in there. So that's a pretty good catch rate. I'm just gonna walk up the road. It's a lot easier than walking down that fisherman's trail. I'm all wet, and this will give my waders a chance to dry off, and I'm walking down the road here. Great fishing though, good spot. Definitely for advanced fishermen. If you're not advanced in wading and that kind of fishing, this is not for you. Definitely don't come out there. You will end up hurt or worse. So, but if you have some experience and you like fly fishing and wading and all that, this is a great place, guys. Came out here with a fishing or a spin rod and some spoons and did very well. The bubble fly works. I caught him with that right from the boat ramp. So you can do that. But I recommend throwing spoons. I think you'll have more fun and more action. But when you throw a spoon, you gotta wade out and get out there so you can get into the pockets of fish. It's pretty good, but it takes a little knowledge and a little wading to get out there and some long casts. So from Lee's Ferry, guys, I hope you enjoyed the scenery and the fishing and the fishing chat. Stay tuned. Lots of this stuff coming in the future. A lot of big trips coming up this fall. So this is just one of many. So Lee's Ferry, checked it off the book, man. We'll be back here probably this winter. If any of you guys are interested in coming and you want to do a trip like this, I'm going to start inviting people. We're going to put together a trip. So more to come from that. So stay tuned if you're interested, and definitely post up. All right, if you have any questions or comments, don't forget to hit that bell, the like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. So we're back to the boat ramp. You can see all the people about to embark on a river trip. Big boats, big rafts. I'm not sure how far down they go, but the amount of gear, it looks like pretty far. I'm gonna go throw a couple of lures right here, and then we're gonna get out of here. Okay, cast it out. Good job. And reel it in. Good job. Point it at the fish. Point it at him. Good job. Catch him. That's right. Thanks, Sophia. Jump up and down. Muddy puddles in Lee's Ferry. Oh no, is right. All right. On the way out of Lee's Ferry. Amazing.